Anthony Fasano here from Pass the PE Exam. What are you going to miss out on if you don't achieve your engineering license, if you don't study and pass that exam? Well, in today's episode, I am lucky to have with me Joy Lanham. Joy is a licensed professional engineer. She started her own company, Lanham Engineering, 10 years ago and has built her company. And a big part of that was having her engineering license. So in today's episode, Joy's going to take us through some of the reasons that you absolutely must get your license. And I promise you, if you listen to this episode, it will inspire you and motivate you to do all of the studying that you need to pass your exam. This episode of Pass the PE Exam is brought to you by PPI, a leader in engineering exam prep for the FE and PE exams since 1975. PPI provides expert prep courses and study resources designed to help you pass the PE exam the first time. PPI's live online courses include hours of lectures, problem-solving demonstrations, exam strategy sessions, office hours, and a passing guarantee. When you take a live online course, PPI guarantees you will pass, or you can take the on-demand course for free. With study guides, practice exams, and more, the PPI Learning Hub offers digital practice and review that you can take with you anywhere you have a device so that you can prepare during the times most convenient for you. Check out PPI today at ppi2pass.com to see all the options available for PE exam prep. Let's dive in. So Joy Lanham is president and CEO of Lanham Engineering. She is also a licensed professional engineer. And, Joy, I wanted to talk a little bit today about your PE license. I know that I talk to a lot of younger engineers that maybe are working now. They may start to have a family, but they're up against this exam. Do I get this license or not? Am I willing to put the work in and study? Yes, it could consume 6 months of your life. But I wanted you to share a little bit about your journey in terms of how the PE license has helped you in terms of starting your own business, which has been 10 years ago now that you've built. Talk about how important that license is, because sometimes we don't know it when we're in the moment.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely important for starting a business. It depends on your state, but in Ohio, if you want the word engineering in your business, a majority owner has to hold a PE license. So that's something right there. I also think it's really important for credibility and, to know, hey, this is a real engineer. They sat for 8 hours, they did the exam, and they know their stuff. I know it sounds daunting, an 8-hour exam, but you just did 4 or 5 years of school. It's a day. Yeah, there's studying involved, but it also depends on your specialization. Like in civil engineering, a lot of us need a PE. You're going to be stamping things, and you really need to know your stuff. And I don't know how the exam is these days, but I didn't think it was too terribly bad. If you're a good student, you'll be fine. If you weren't a good student, if you learned things during your career, you will also learn the things. I think waiting is probably would be the hardest thing, because you don't remember how to take tests. Part of it is knowing the things and knowing where to find information, but part of it is test taking as well. So don't let that scare you, but I do think it's important.
Yeah, and I think, and if you're watching this video, you likely have passed your FE exam, which to me was the harder of the two, really, because it's very general and it covers a lot of different things, whereas the PE, you're able to more self-select kind of your specific discipline and expertise. And, Joy makes a really good point there in that you can't make assumptions at this early in your career as to whether or not you're really going to need your license, nor do I think you want to make that assumption, because you don't know where your career is going to go. And, I know a lot of engineers will say, hey, I'll just work for this big company and they have a lot of licensed professionals and I won't need to worry about getting it. But that's not really a great career strategy, because number one, a lot of these larger companies, even in their employee handbooks, will have requirements for you to have a license to get to a certain position. In fact, a lot of the firms that we work with when we develop project management programs, training programs, development programs, that's the path to project manager position in their firm, like having a license, whether it's an engineer or an architecture or whatever the case may be. And a lot of times people don't realize that. Or maybe ownership in the company. You might be required to have a license and people don't know about that. And the other thing I tell people is, if you want to start your own company like Joy, I don't think Joy maybe thought of that when she graduated school, but she decided to at some point in her career. So if you decide 10, 15 years from now that you want to start your own business and it's required to have your license, and now you have to go back and get your license, it becomes like 10 times harder to go back and take that exam. And that's why it's just a prudent choice to do that now. And Joy, I would imagine too, just from owning your own business as a civil engineer, that the level of expertise and credibility that the license brings to your name is so critically important.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, when you're going after projects, you're writing up proposals, like sometimes I do put up someone with a PE above someone that doesn't, just because, you know, those clients, they want to know it's going to be the best work, and they trust people with PEs. They just do. That's part of the inherent nature of, a professional career. And yeah, you're right. Like, why limit yourself? Don't limit yourself now. Just do it. And then, if you don't need it later, you wasted one day of your life. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, no, that's a good point, that like removing limitations from yourself in your career. Because I always tell people, I think just having an engineering degree is a way to do that. I was actually talking to my kids about this because my one daughter's looking at colleges, and I was saying, like, if you go to school for business and you graduate, you can't become an engineer. But if you go to school for engineering and you graduate, you can definitely go into business, because I had offers to go into business and finance with an undergrad in engineering and not even a minor in business. And that's nothing against business school, but the point being is that our requirements as engineers is to have that ABET accreditation, undergraduate degree, to be able to get your license. So I think that's one example, but I think the PE license is another one. Like, why would you limit yourself by not getting it, even if you think you're not going to use it? Put the work in now. You probably have the time, the energy to do it. It's only going to get harder. So Joy, I want to thank you for coming on and just talking a little bit about the importance of the PE license for you. I congratulate you on 10 years of building your business, and we just appreciate you sharing some of your advice and your thoughts here.
Thanks. Anytime.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of Pass the PE Exam. Please consider subscribing to our channel here. We do put out videos like this on a weekly basis. And if you have questions for us, leave comments below this video and we will answer and respond to them. And we will help you pass your PE exam. I'll see you next week on Pass the PE Exam.